So right now I'm just doing French press, pretty basic. So sometimes I do this. I do a lot of days just have cold brew, which I'm a big fan of cold brew, so I make homemade cold brew. But today I'm doing French press for some hot coffee.
2년 전 LG 노바에 합류한 조 씨. 그가 하는 일은 커피를 만드는 과정과 비슷합니다. 원두에서부터 한 잔의 커피를 세심하게 완성하듯 스타트업과 협업해 새로운 사업 모델을 세상에 내놓죠. 보스턴에서 신경과학을 전공하고 유전학을 공부한 조 씨는 하버드 의과대학과 미국 CVS 헬스 백악관에서 근무했는데요. 주로 벤처와 파트너십 팀의 의료 서비스를 잇는 역할을 했습니다. 이제는 LG 노바의 신사업을 개발하는 인큐베이션실을 이끌고 있죠.
I have about 4 or 5 meetings this afternoon. So 5 meetings this afternoon. So it's going to be pretty busy, and we're heading over to Palo Alto to meet with one of the companies in our portfolio on the venture side and that we're working with on the LG Nova side. I moved for the job. So, but I always wanted to live in California for a little bit just to experience it, and Silicon Valley, it's unique, and so I figured it was a good opportunity to also come out and try something new.
낯선 곳에서의 새로운 일, 이 혁신의 중심지에서 조 씨는 뒤처지지 않기 위해 매일같이 하는 습관이 있다고 하는데요.
I usually run most days in the Presidio, and then I listen to I listen to podcasts. It's a very it's a famous podcast where he interviews CEOs that have been successful, and you hear about their stories. I think that's interesting. But yeah, try to just learn as much as possible in different areas. So
이렇게 일에 진심일 수 있는 이유가 뭘까요?
I grew up in Wisconsin, kind of like rural farmland, and I would get up early and we had to go like feed the animals and horses before school at like 6 a.m. if I went, it's cold, and I don't know, I just always kind of grew up working hard, like outdoors, and pretty much almost like on a farm, pretty much. I don't just work to work for money. I'm not that motivated by that. I'm really motivated by doing meaningful work, having an impact, learning and growing, and leaving an imprint, hopefully, on the world. That's why I do it personally. We have individuals that work, and myself, we really work to vet those startups, to identify interesting collaboration ideas, to test those collaboration ideas through POCs and pilots, and then ultimately to build out proposals for new businesses in collaboration with the startups, and demos, and ultimately products. Then the goal is to identify these new ventures that are compelling and have potential for LG. One of the things that really resonated with me with LG Nova is the opportunity to get in at the ground floor when it's starting, to help shape the direction and to be part of the team that's really working to build these new businesses and ultimately to help shape whichever direction we go. And I think that makes it more exciting than if you join after 10 years.
올해 1월 라스베이거스에서 열린 CES 2024에서는 LG노바와 협업 중인 스타트업들이 소개되었는데요. LG노바의 새로운 도전은 뜨거운 관심을 받았습니다.
신사업을 만들어내는 프로세스가 그랜드 챌린지를 통해서 인큐베이션을 통해서 만들어내는 프로세스가 대단히 유니크합니다. 3,000개 이상의 스타트업들이 이 프로세스에 참가하기 위해서 들어왔고, 그래서 일단 들어온 것만으로도 이 스타트업 모으는 플랫폼으로서 역할은 대단한 성공을 한 거예요.
LG노바는 협업할 스타트업들을 모으고 모인 스타트업들의 역량을 LG 안으로 가져와 LG만의 관점으로 새로운 사업 모델을 개발합니다.
I mean, our model generally is outside in and collaborative driven. These are new areas, and we have a thesis, but we don't want to come off too strong, and we want to be open to what's out there and these startups and find exciting things, and then work from there and kind of map it to what we're doing.
LG노바가 투자하고 파트너십을 맺은 스타트업 딕비는 정밀생물학을 이용해 비만, 당뇨병, 소화기 질병을 치료하는 플랫폼인데요. 2021년 LG노바에서 전 세계 스타트업을 대상으로 개최한 공모전에서 1,300여 개 글로벌 스타트업을 제치고 최종 선발된 10개 기업 중 하나입니다.
came out of the challenge, we had presented a construct, both how Digby can be used in the B2B side of the healthcare in the United States or a direct-to-consumer, both in the United States and globally.
We're well known. Healthcare is moving more towards the consumer and more towards the home, and so I think LG can play that role. And some of these companies that we were finding had really innovative technology that we felt we could partner with them and build around that a broader offering.
I think one of the biggest strengths of working with LG Nova is the fact that they have first a focus on healthcare. Number two, they have the ability to scale globally. And the third is they have access to channels and entities that as a small startup would be hard. So I think those are the areas where it brings a very unique opportunity. And it gives credibility to any startup to be associated with a global brand name.
VC는 기존에 있는 스타트업들, 다른 사람들이 만든 스타트업에 투자를 하는 거예요. 결국은 엑시스를 해서 돈을 회수하는 게 목적이고, 결국은 이제 파이낸셜 플레이죠. 돈 버는 목적이고, 저희의 목적은 이게 50년, 100년, 200년이 갈 수 있는 신사업체를 만드는 겁니다. 새로운 LG의 미래의 신사업이 될 수 있는 새로운 신사업체를 만드는 거예요.
We started this year with the two first ones that we're actively working to spin out.
LG노바 출범 3년 만에 첫 스핀오프가 결정된 스타트업은 클린테크와 헬스케어 분야 두 곳. 데런은 스핀오프를 앞둔 헬스케어 스타트업의 CEO가 됩니다.
The project I'm working on right now is a new healthcare venture that's being spun out by LG Nova. And we're focusing on improving health outcomes and overall cost of care for transitioning patients from the hospital to the home following acute care episode. I have personal experience dealing with the current state of transitional care from hospital to home and back to the hospital and care facility and back to home with my parents. And we're really focusing on cost reduction and outcome improvement for the health systems. And we believe that we can provide more value to the health systems to help them save money. Open up that data room as early as possible, and also, so you're not scrambling at the last minute, pulling together those spreadsheets that we were working on, and financial models, and just figuring out all the little details to making this a freestanding company.
Yeah, I would say legal documentation, funding decisions, funding, but also the teams are trying to continue to make progress. So you don't want to put progress on hold because the market continues to move and competitors, and we want to seize the opportunity.
데런은 안정된 회사 생활을 뒤로하고 분사할 스타트업의 CEO가 되려고 합니다. 데런은 무엇을 기대하는 걸까요?
So Nova, in my mind, is very much that clutch between the large organization and the startups to help facilitate forward momentum and motion moving forward. So a lot of the challenges we face are that our processes are set up for a large global entity, not for moving very quickly in the market and putting out new products and services in a very rapid pace. So in order to address needs that we see in the market at this point in time, we need to move much quicker. Therefore, we believe the best way to deliver on that value and capitalize on that opportunity is to take the opportunity outside of the organization, but still maintain that strategic relationship between LG and the new entity.
첫 스핀오프인 만큼 내부 승인을 받기까지 우여곡절도 많았는데요. 짧은 시간 안에 여러 성과를 증명해야 했다고 합니다.
Flying out to Seoul with the team for 2 weeks to meet with the C-suite within LG and to meet with all the different teams that are the key decision makers within LG to approve our project and financially supporting and spinning out. He said, this is an exciting opportunity, stood up, shook our hands, said thank you very much. We're excited to move forward with this. And it was an immense feeling of pride. And just the fact that you don't appreciate, if you haven't been in this space for very long, you may not appreciate how difficult.
최근 LG노바에는 한 가지 큰 성과가 있었습니다. 미국 웨스트버지니아주와 전략적 협업을 맺게 되었죠.
I think the most success that we've had so far, well, two situations. Finalizing our agreement with West Virginia, we found a strong partner to co-innovate and go to market with. Especially on the healthcare side of things, West Virginia has a number of health challenges within that region. Health equity is very important to us as well, making sure that we're putting out a solution that doesn't just address the needs to an elite minority within the US that can be utilized by often overlooked segments of the population.
빠른 검증을 요구하는 인큐베이팅 단계뿐만 아니라 스핀오프 전 든든한 파트너 관계를 구축하기까지 쉽지만은 않았다고 하는데요. 가장 큰 힘이 된 건 함께하는 LG노바 팀원들이었습니다.
A number of our colleagues have deep experience working with government entities, so that helps us forge relationships with states and federal governments.
And a lot of us have backgrounds from either building startups or working with startups or mentoring, building businesses inside of large corporates.
I think everyone at Nova has really bought into this vision of our ability to bring really transformative innovations to the market and do it for a company that really wants to innovate and disrupt itself.
가장 어려운 부분은 길이 없다는 게 가장 어려운 부분입니다. 그러니까 이제 웃자고 한 소리인데 사실 그게 그래요. 그러니까 누가 해서 한번 성공을 시켜봤으면은 사실 처음 하는 사람이 힘들지 쫓아가는 거 쉽거든요. 처음 하는 사람 한 10배 이상의 노력이 들어갑니다. 어찌 보면은 처음 하는 사람은 실패도 많이 할 수밖에 없고.
It's always most difficult to be first. Sometimes people say it's first mover advantage. Sometimes it's first mover disadvantage because you don't have a playbook to follow. This is challenging because throughout the process of creating a new venture, you come up with a series of hypotheses. As such, it's a learning process, like not just the product creation, but the actual business creation is a learning experience for us as well. So we are feeling the most pain and the most challenges by being the first. It's always most difficult to be first.
아무도 가지 않은 길을 개척하는 LG노바. 여러 시행착오 속에서도 계속해서 도전하고 있는 그들에겐 어떤 꿈이 있을까요?
To pursue an entirely new business venture for a global organization. It's a very rare situation. And I'm very proud to have delivered on that. And that is definitely a highlight of my career. And the next highlight will be building this successfully.
LG, I think they have a role to play in health, role to play in energy, and transition to the future. That's very important. But I need to have the kind of impact opportunity and feel that we're also making the world a better place. And that's what really excites me. And solving hard problems.
사업은 세상에 많아요. 하지만 다음 세대가 야 세상이 옛날보다 우리 엄마 아빠 때도 더 좋아졌어 라고 생각하게 할 수 있는 신사업은 세상에 그렇게 많지가 않은 것 같아요. 신사업을 하면서 언제나 가지고 있는 모토가 세상의 그 퀄리티 오브 라이프를 임프루브 해야 된다는 게 제 기본 철학입니다.